Hi HuffPost, my name is Steph Cook and I am a recovering corporate ladder climber. I saw your email about burnout and I knew that I had to share my story with you. This story has completely transformed my life in ways that I could never imagine, and every time that I share it with anyone, they can relate to this story. The idea of burnout, especially in a corporate environment, is way too common in our society today. So let me share a little bit of my story with you. About 5 years ago, I was working as an environmental consultant. I was the youngest person in my office to be managing a client portfolio, so it was kind of a big deal. You know, I had grown and hopped up the ladder very quickly and had taken on a lot of responsibility very quickly. I was not necessarily given all the support and the skills and training that I needed to be successful in that role, and that led me to working myself to the bone trying to make it work. I felt compelled to be successful, I was driven to be successful, and I was going to do whatever it took to get there. And what that meant for me was working, 70, 80 hours a week, sometimes more, and sacrificing all the other areas of my life. At this time that I was working like crazy, my husband was actually considering leaving me. He told me after the fact that he would work late so he wouldn't have to come home to me because he hated being around me. Because it wasn't just that I was working all the time, it was that I was really stressed and negative and just kind of unbearable to be around. At the same time, my health was really declining. I am one of those, I guess what you would call skinny fat people. So it wasn't that I had really gotten overweight. I definitely put on weight. I probably put on about 10 pounds during that time. But I was not taking care of myself and supporting myself in a way that I could sustain those working hours. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't eating well. Takeout pizza was like my go-to meal. Triple shot lattes were like my daily afternoon jam, and which led to me not sleeping well and a whole host of other things. And at the same time, I didn't really take time to nurture any of the relationships in my life. So whether that was my husband or my family or my friends, really the only people that I was close to at that time were my coworkers. And it was kind of a blessing and a curse because we were able to commiserate in a way that felt that validated some of the negativity and the concerns that I had, but it ultimately boiled down to being very unhealthy for me to do that and for me to not have another outlet. So one day I woke up and I realized, this isn't the life that I wanted for myself. I want to be successful, but I want to have a happy marriage. I want to have great friends, and I want to feel really good in my own skin. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be exhausted all the time. I don't want to be sleeping, 5 hours a week or 5 hours a night. And, I want something better for myself. And I took a step back and I recognized that even though I loved my job and the work that I was doing, I just couldn't step down from the expectations that I had set for myself in that role. So with the support of my husband, I decided to leave that job. And I've spent the last 5 years really trying to wrap my head around what work-life balance means and how to incorporate that in my life and how to do work that's of value while still having a personal life. And it's not always easy, but I definitely believe that it is possible for people, and that's why I do the work that I do, predominantly with women. I work with them to identify their version of work-life balance, to help them to look at the imbalances in their life and create more balance around their priorities and their goals and their dreams for their lives. And I really support these women in a way that allows them to contribute in the world, because that's what we all want, and that's why we're all getting burnt out, is because we want something more. We want to do something more. We want to be known for something. When I look back on the situation that I was in, it wasn't anything about the job or the company that was pushing me. It was me pushing me. I was driven to succeed, and I was going to do whatever it took. But in hindsight, I've recognized that, because of that, I need to be in control of the expectations that I set for other people to have of me. And I need to be in control of the balance that I create in my life. And I need to be in control of the life that I create for myself, both inside and outside of work. A lot of that comes from making a conscious decision to be present at all times. It comes from a decision to be dedicated to the priorities and the values that I have for myself. And it also comes from having the confidence to state what I want, ask for what I want, and set boundaries around those things when necessary. It's not easy, but it's totally doable. And I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't. I would probably be completely burnt out, my adrenals, and in a hospital somewhere, or just drinking my life away because I was so stressed out. And I want to show other people that it's possible as well. So I would love to work with you to share my story at HuffPost. It would be an honor and a privilege, and I feel like together we could reach so many people. So I would love to talk with you further. You can email me at stephanie@stephaniecookwellness.com, and I'm really looking forward to talking with you soon. Bye-bye.